Hello everyone. Today we're going to be looking at how to fill out an application for grandfathered right or irrigation authority. So we're starting at the home page here. All right. So as you can see, we have lists for different applications that you could potentially fill out. On the left-hand side, we have Douglas AMA and everything pertaining to that area. And on the right-hand side, we have Wallapai Valley INA and the application pertaining to that area there. So let's go ahead and click Application for Irrigation Authority. And here it's important to note the speed of your internet is conditional with how many tabs, how many programs you have open. So if you see it's taking a while, you might want to close some extra programs on your computer. So the first question we're going to see is asking us who we're filling the form out for. Are you filling it out for yourself? Go ahead and click that. Are you filling it out for others, i.e. you're a consultant or an attorney filling out for a client, or you can request that your assigned delegate file the form for you. We're going to choose self for this example. All right, the first thing you're going to see is some disclaimers reminding you that the application fee is a flat $75. And the first sort of substantial question will be, will substantial capital investment form be filed in addition to this application? For the purpose of this demo, it's not really going to matter, but for now we'll just click no. And then it's going to ask you what the owner information is. Now it's going to autocomplete for you, which is pretty convenient. But if you do have other owners that are also applying on this application, you can click this box down here, and it will let you fill in extra owner information if that's what you want to do. And once we verify that this information is accurate, we can hit the next button. Now, question 2 is asking for the parcel information for the land that you're applying for irrigation grandfathered right. Each parcel number is going to have a book, a map, and a parcel number. So for example, we can put 403, 28, and 123. Now it's going to ask for this format across the board. Typically, you'll find that your county has their parcels in this format. Sometimes they'll include this little dash, sometimes they won't. If they don't, you'll just have to kind of count out the numbers. And then it's going to ask you for the total amount of acres that are in that parcel. So we're just going to choose 120 for this example. And it's also going to ask you for the legal description for that particular parcel, which you can find on your deed. I'm just going to choose random numbers for this one, but it will be in the deed's legal description area. If you find yourself owning smaller quarters of a parcel, you can enter those in here. And it's essentially going to just build your legal description there. So once you're done filling in these drop-down menus, go ahead and double check the legal description to make sure it matches as closely as possible what you see on your particular deed. After that, it's going to ask you for the GIS or GPS coordinates for your parcel. For here, you can enter in degrees, minutes, and seconds. Typically, you can find this information in this exact format on the county assessor's website. After that, we will want you to upload a deed file for those particular parcel numbers. Now, most folks are going to find themselves with a handful of parcels or a bit more that they are wanting to apply 4. So here you can add to enter in additional parcels as well. This area is identical to the one we have up here. We're just adding different blocks to add in parcels. And it also asks for a deed for that particular parcel as well. If you find yourself adding too many, you can delete ones that you've added. All right, moving on to question 3, we are going to ask for a map of those parcels that you uploaded in the previous question. And we want you to indicate the location of all of the wells that are currently being used on your property. And we can go into more depth on information for wells, but for now, we want those wells to be added into those maps. Moving on to question 4, we want to know how many acres were irrigated on your land in each of these respective years. So October 12th, 2017 through October 12th, 2022 is the statutory time frame for irrigation that we want to be looking at. So if you irrigated any acres between October 12th, 2017 and December 31st, 2017, you can click here on the drop-down arrow, select Edit, and enter in those acres irrigated. If you skipped a year in 2018, that's okay. If you skipped a year in 2019, that's okay. If you fired up your irrigation again in 2020, we also want to know that. And maybe we irrigated again in 2021. All right. Now for this example, if you are applying and have not irrigated any land within that statutory time frame, that's really important because that will kind of trigger the process for substantial capital investment. Now, if you did not irrigate in any of these years, we also do want to see a 0 for that value as well. And if you find yourself in a situation where you have not irrigated at all within those 5 years, the department staff is available for you to give us a call to talk about substantial capital investment and answer any questions you might have. And we kind of remind you guys of that down here. All right, but for now, for this example, we'll put in about 120 acres irrigated. Important to note that if you try to move on to the next page and you have forgotten to fill something out, or if you have forgotten to upload files, it's not going to let you proceed until you do that. So if that happens to you, scroll up, find the red text, and rectify those things it's letting you know about. All right, moving on to question 5. This is where we want to add well information. So there's add well information here. Now we want to know the registration number, the year it was drilled, and if or if not it is owned by you. So for well registration, each well registration number starts with 55 dash, but we complete that for you. And I can enter that information here. We ask you for what type of measuring device is installed on that. If you know it, great. If not, you can put no measuring device specialized. I think that should say specified. Um, Go ahead and check this box if it is owned by you. All right. And a lot of folks will have 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 plus wells on their property. And you can just keep hitting that add well information to add each well. All right. Question number 6 is asking If the land is served by an irrigation district or agricultural improvement district, this is information that you can find on your county assessor's website or by giving the county assessors a call. Question 7 is asking you if groundwater is the sole source of water for irrigation. Most of the time, this is going to be yes, but if you feel like you've received water from elsewhere, there's not a lot of surface water in Douglas or Wallapai. Um, so more than more often than not, this answer is going to be yes, for groundwater is the sole source of water for irrigation.
And in question 6, if you select yes, that you are in an irrigation district, it is going to ask you the name of that irrigation district.
Now, after you've answered all these questions, this box down here is to certify under penalty of perjury that this is, to the best of your knowledge, correct information. And then it's going to take you to a page where we give additional disclaimers and notices about the application process. Now this page is extremely important. We added this page in just to remind folks to double and triple check the information. So you can hit previous to go back to make sure that's okay. If you find any errors or you need more time to fill out the application, you can always hit this save for later button here. And you can see this throughout the application, but we understand that this is a very complicated process, and if it takes you a couple days, it takes you a couple days. If it takes you a couple weeks, it takes you a couple weeks. So you can always hit this save for later, and it'll ask you if you want to confirm that. And it's important to note here that you never want to use the browser back and forward arrows. It could potentially delete everything that you've been working on. So if you need to go backwards and forward, use the next and previous buttons. And once you're sure the information is accurate, go ahead and hit submit.
And we will show you in further examples how to pay and finalize your application.